Welcome back everyone, Dustin here again, Average Guy Hi-Fi. I've got another 5-speaker package for you guys that I ended up picking up for a very good deal a few days ago, so I'm just now getting around for the time to review this. But this is actually from a line of Polk speakers that I'm pretty familiar with. I've never owned them, but growing up my friend had some really nice towers off of this series and just loved the way that they sounded, which was another reason that I kind of got into this whole hobby thing of home audio. So what I have here is, it's called the Polk RM7600 home theater pack. So what that included was, it came with the center channel, which is this one right here. This is the RM4600 center channel. And then it also came with 4 of these, which are the RM4300 satellite speakers. So, somebody listed these on OfferUp, didn't have the subwoofer again, but I ended up grabbing these 5 speakers for $200. The MSRP on the speaker package was around $1,800 with the 5 satellite speakers, or actually the 4 satellite speakers in the center channel and the subwoofer. So I just ended up, since there's not an MSRP for the RM7600 package, I just ended up taking $600 off for the subwoofer that wasn't included. So I came up with an MSRP of right around $1,200 for the 5 speakers. And again, I ended up picking them up for $200, so a very good deal there. I'll just kind of show you guys some close-ups here of the speakers themselves. So here's the grill. The nice thing about these grills, and I wish more manufacturers would do this, is they have plastic on the back. So these, when I picked them up, they were pretty dusty just from the age. These are pretty old speakers, so they were really dusty. So what I did was just, since everything was plastic and I wasn't worried about it getting them ruined, I just put them in my sink and scrubbed them down with some dish soap and like a soft brush, and they really cleaned up nice for the grills. So for you people out there that have like kind of dusty looking grills and they have plastic backing on them, don't do it with MDF backing grills. Those things are just going to disintegrate. But if you have plastic, you can kind of scrub them up. Just be gentle, because I'd be worried about the adhesives that held the fabric to the plastic. If it's really old, it might be kind of brittle. So just a little hint out there for you that have a little bit older speakers. So again, this right here is the Polk RM4600 CC center channel. So it has dual 5 1/4 inch woofers. It also has a 1-inch dome tri-laminate tweeter there in the middle. And the cool thing about these is this is probably one of the original speakers, not the first. I know that Polk has been using this for a while, but see those dual ports? Each woofer has a one of those patented Polk power ports on the back. And then right there is the 5-way binding posts. So again, it came with that center channel, and then also came with 4 of these, which is the RM4300 satellite speakers. Kind of see that right there. And they're not perfect. They have gloss cabinets, so gloss cabinets can show some imperfections, but they actually look really good in place. And then I'll show you right here. So the 4 satellites come with the same 5 1/4 inch woofer, the 1-inch dome tri-laminate tweeter, and then since there's just one woofer, just comes with the 1 power port on the back, and then obviously the 5-way binding post as well too. So basically, they have about the same specs. Obviously, the center channel is a little bit more powerful because it has 2 woofers instead of 1, like in the satellites. But they're all 8-ohm speakers. They have a sensitivity rating of 89 dB. The power handling is about 150 watts, which is exactly what my Marantz amplifier is going to be powering them with. So those are just kind of the general specs. We'll pop over there. I'll put on the movie Matrix. I think for these movies, I'm not going to run it with a subwoofer. That's not the point of this. I'll review subwoofers separately. In fact, I got some really cool ones right around the corner, so stay tuned for those. But I'll show them over there, Matrix 4K, and then that way you guys can kind of hear them in action. I'll put the microphone in the main listening position, just attached to my light tripod, so you guys can kind of hear where the main listening position would be in that room. So you can kind of hear the sounds going around the room and all that. So let's go over there. Let's go check out Matrix 4K, see these speakers in action, and then we'll come back over here and I'll give you guys the Average Guy Hi-Fi score. So here we go. Okay, we just got everything dialed in. So the equipment list that I'm using is down in the description, along with all the other speaker information, details of the model numbers and all that stuff. So this is Matrix in 4K on the LG OLED C9 65-inch TV. And the receiver is a Denon X3300, which I'll be replacing soon. And then it's the power amplifier is the Marantz 7055. So here we go. Here's Matrix in 4K, the lobby scene. Everybody loves this one. So just kind of show you behind the scenes here. got the surround over there, and then we got the surround right there. I'm putting the microphone in the kind of the main listening position, or dead center in the room, just right there on that cord, to give you guys an idea where it's sitting at, and then we'll just walk around and we'll show you the speakers up close. So here we go. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that demo of Matrix in 4K. You know, for home theater enthusiasts, I think that's a must-own. They did a really good job with the sound depth. You can really hear, especially in that lobby scene where you hear the tiles kind of moving all around you. I didn't play that, I mentioned this already, but I didn't play that that clip with the subwoofer. I just wanted you guys to hear the speakers. Subwoofers kind of drown things out in my room. So I just want you guys to hear the speakers, and then I'll review the subwoofer separately. Otherwise, you're mainly just listening to the subwoofer, I feel like, when I watch other people's videos. So again, I put that microphone in the main listening position so you can hear the sounds going around the room and everything too. But before we jump into the average guy hi-fi score, I'm going to start putting speakers I'm going to be prepared to be reviewing here up here. So a little sneak peek for people that stick around for the videos. But this is a little Sunfire sub, and obviously it's a very little Sunfire sub, but really surprising performance out of this package. So that's coming up here pretty soon. So again, now we're on to the average guy hi-fi section of the video, where I give you my impressions of the speakers, how they performed, how they looked, where they stacked up to the competition, and then we just move on. So there's 5 categories. Each category is worth 10 points, 10 being the best, and then we take those scores and we add them up and give you guys an average for the average guy hi-fi score. I know it's a lot of averages, but it's just the way the name worked out for my channel. So we'll jump right into it. We'll start with quality. That is basically how the cabinets feel. Are the woofer materials nice? Does it feel like the tweeters are nice and solid? Do the cabinets have a little resonance when you knock on them? I gave these speakers an 8 out of 10 when it comes to the quality. Very high quality. The grill material they use, the grills, all of the woofers, the cabinet was nice and dense. The one complaint, again, I think it's just I'm being a little bit too picky or a little bit too hard on these companies, but I think for speakers that are around this price range, I think that the binding posts could be a little bit higher quality. And since Polk has definitely improved their binding posts since this series, and again, this was kind of a home theater in a box, basically, minus the receiver at the time. But it was an $1,800 home theater in a box, so it wasn't the cheap stuff either. So I expected a little bit more there when it came to the just on the binding posts and a couple little nitpicky things. But 8 out of 10, very good score when it comes to my the average guy hi-fi score when it comes to quality. Sound, I gave him a 7.5 out of 10. For 5.25-inch woofers, to be perfectly honest with you, I was a little underwhelmed when it came to the bass response. And I know that this set was designed to be used with a subwoofer, but again, I'm trying to give you guys the sound of these speakers in case you don't have a subwoofer that goes with it. So I gave them a 7.5 out of 10. Still a good score. They have nice high frequency. It's not sharp. But it's very detailed. I would call it airy. The sound just kind of moved around the room a little bit more. They are a little bit more directional, like when you can hear them, like the episode speakers, which is not a fair comparison because it's so much larger, but has a bigger kind of wider sound stage. These ones you can kind of pinpoint where they are in the room a little bit more. Still a good score, 7.5 out of 10. The MSRP value, I gave them a 7 out of 10. You know, when these came out, the year they came out, this would have been a pretty expensive little speaker package. So it's 7 out of 10 when it comes to the MSRP rating, just because I know what the competition was up to around that time. I know people are tired of hearing about clips, but even brands like Definitive Technology had some really nice 5.1 systems well under this price point. That would compete very well with these Polk speakers. So, you know, the Definitives kind of sacrificed a little bit because they had smaller cabinets, but these will sound a little bit bigger than those smaller Definitives. But again, I think that the sound just didn't quite live up to the price point for those speakers. So I gave them a 7 out of 10 when it came to the MSRP. The aesthetics, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I really like the look of the black cabinets. These are a little bit older, so the gloss cabinets do have a little bit of wear and tear on them, but overall they were in really good condition. I like the blue with woofers with the gloss, and I like the grill material that they use. Just attractive looking little speakers. 8 out of 10 when it comes to the aesthetics. My price paid, I gave them a 6.5 out of 10. It's still a fantastic deal. Anybody out there that sees these speakers anywhere near this price, definitely jump on it. It's totally worth it. But as you guys know, Youthman is kind of known. I go way back on the forums, the old Klipsch Days forums with Youthman, and what they call the Youthman deals. Me and him just seemed to be competing. You know, he would post up something that was an amazing deal, and I'd post something up that was an amazing deal. So, you know, the deals that I've had affect the score when it comes to my price paid, just because it's my history of buying speakers. So definitely worth the 200, definitely worth more than 200, but I gave them a 6.5 out of 10 when it comes to my price paid, just because I've had some pretty amazing deals as you guys have been seeing. So still a good deal, definitely worth buying. So just wanted to shoot you guys straight with all these scores. So what's that average out to? 37 out of 50, which is 74% average guy HiFi score. So these speakers perform very well. They have good sound. They're perfect for somebody that has a little bit of a smaller room. They're not gonna get super loud when it comes to huge rooms and filling a gigantic room. That's not what these were designed for, again. And you definitely need a subwoofer with them. Even if you're in an apartment. People are always like, I can't have a subwoofer because I'm in an apartment. Now, obviously, not all apartment buildings are built the same. There's more insulation in some walls. The floors are a little bit more sturdy. But even in an apartment, which I'm in a duplex, that wall right there is my neighbor. So, and I've got some pretty killer subs. So, basically, you definitely want a sub. Just make sure you keep the subwoofer nice and low, but it really needs something. This system really needs something to augment that lower end to really get you guys that home theater experience, which is what these speakers are really designed to do. Just a little home theater package from Polk. I've enjoyed my time with these things. They sound very good, and then I'll be listing them for sale. And I've actually got some really cool speakers out there that I just ended up picking up, and I've got 2 other speakers that I'm going to grab over the weekend. So I'm going to keep the content going for you guys. Again, I'm trying to keep these 2 videos a week going for you, and really I'm just thrilled with the channel growth. I'm up over 820 subscribers right now, which is just well ahead of everything I was told. I'll hit that 1,000 subscriber count thanks to you guys, and thanks for helping me spread the word much sooner than what I was anticipating, which is kind of fun because, again, this is a side little passion project for me. I just felt I needed to document some of my audio journey since I've owned so many speakers and have so much experience over the years. So this is the type of content you guys that you guys like. Please help me spread the word. You know, if you're got a friend out there that's looking to save some money on a home theater system, they don't want to go into a Best Buy and drop a bunch of money, or one of the local shops. They can get stuff on the used market, save a ton of money, and then I even buy stuff open box and clearance prices too. So I'll be mixing that in with my content as well. So if this is the type of stuff you're into, or if you know somebody that is, feel free to share the channel. I'd really appreciate the help. I think it's off to a great start, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you again.